Okay, no, I don't think students should be solely analyzed on their test scores. The reason being is because test scores, the test itself could be biased. There may be a test question about holes on a golf course for math, but if you don't have a reference point for golf course or you don't live on a country club, you're not going to know what that means. I also think that there are, even like Gardner's theories, there are up to 10 different types of intelligence, and only 1 or 2 are measured by standardized tests. So you could have a child who's extremely artistic or musical, but they don't show up well or they may not test well. So I think you need to probably, a better thing for kids would be like a portfolio. So you can do test scores, but then maybe have them produce some work. Create a master product or perform something to show that they can understand different things.
That not all students show their knowledge through written tests or multiple choice testing. I think that they should have an opportunity to be able to show what they've learned throughout the school year kinesthetically, especially in classes where it's more hands-on, like science classes.
I believe with standardized testing that life is more appealing to open-ended questions. That's what helps students to learn more and master. However, taking the SAT and prepping for the ACT and taking standardized testing helps students prepare for those standardized tests at the end of the year.
I do not think that standardized testing is an accurate portrayal of a student's performance. I think that it's much more beneficial if students learn and are tested through 21st century learning skills, how to work together collaboratively, how to sit down and work through a project, something that will be more relevant and real to what they're going to be doing in their careers and in their lives after they get out of school. I think that for myself, the only time since high school that I've ever used onomatopoeia or hyperbole is because I'm an English teacher and I have to teach my students those things. I think that there's a time and a place, but I think for kids to have to spend all of their time stressing and learning and making sure they know these things just so that they can pass a test is a useless waste of time.
Standardized tests.
Well, there's been a lot of controversy about standardized tests over the years. My perspective from just the things that I've heard were that they're biased to certain races, especially African Americans, because people live differently, their culture is different, and if there's only one certain culture creating the test, then that's what they're going to be testing on. There's some things that are universal. But I think once you get past that, then the test can be beneficial. It's a standard measure of knowledge for all people. So it can be beneficial. I've seen them in school, the standardized tests that we give. They are beneficial for knowing how much the students have learned, what the teachers have taught, and what we can do better. Yeah, so I think they are necessary as long as they're done the proper way.
Standardized testing. I feel like the test is like you can't really determine it because the people that gave you the test is not your actual teacher. It's like normally from downtown Raleigh, you know what I mean? There's like the stuff on there sometimes is not what we learn. So I feel like the teacher that taught you should be able to give out the standardized test rather than downtown or Raleigh.